It's part of an ancient mystery I haven't been able to solve yet.
Well, could you solve how I can get a sandwich? I'm starving.
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the most notable ancient mysteries that have been unraveled thanks to advancements in modern research and technology.
Just like Atlantis, Helike has always eluded those who have searched for it.
Number 10. Roman concrete. Usually, modern products are more advanced than those from the past. However, that isn't always the case. Just ask the concrete used during the Roman Empire.
Maybe they just had a better recipe for their concrete that somehow got lost over time, and now those of us in the modern era are fated to live with substandard infrastructure.
Researchers have long been fascinated by how the material has maintained its strength for so long, and in 2023 they finally got their answer. While the ingredients making up the concrete, limestone, seawater, and volcanic ash, were seemingly simple, they reacted together in a way that prevented damage and increased durability. With this new insight, some American companies have begun to consider making their own modern versions of Roman-style concrete.
The miracle of modern chemistry has given us a wide variety of admixtures like superplasticizers to improve the characteristics of concrete beyond a Roman engineer's wildest dreams.
If successful, it could usher in a more environmentally friendly and structurally sound era of architecture.
Maybe today's concrete will outlast that of the Romans. We'll have to wait 2,000 years before we know for sure.
Number 9. The Ivory Lady. Mistakes are inevitable in the field of archaeology, where new information is constantly being discovered and shared.
You said no one had been here before. I think you meant no white man, Mr. Costin.
Uncovering ancient remains can be exciting, yet incredibly difficult to correctly identify. In 2008, researchers came across what they believed to be the body of an influential man at Tolos de Montelirio in Spain. He was dubbed the Ivory Man, and the conclusion went unquestioned for over a decade. It wasn't until 2021 that further testing revealed a certain peptide in the cadaver's enamel, one found only in women. The discovery turned previous research upside down, and the Ivory Man became known as the Ivory Lady.
You're a girl?
Of course I am.
This correction also suggests that women may have held power as far back as the Copper Age. Number 8. The Antikythera Mechanism. Some modern gadgets seem so impressive, until you realize that we've been beaten to some of them by thousands of years.
120 years ago, sponge divers discovered a shipwreck off the tiny island of Antikythera in Greece. And what they found changed our understanding of human history forever.
When the Antikythera Mechanism was uncovered in 1901, it went largely unnoticed for years due to its unassuming appearance. Once investigations ramped up, it took decades of additional research and the help of X-ray technology before a groundbreaking conclusion was reached in the mid-2000s. It was the oldest known analog computer.
I think it was conceived as a calculating machine.
While it obviously didn't have the same capabilities as modern computers, it's been suggested that the gears inside were used to track astronomical patterns and events up to decades in advance.
And when we first looked at the results, it was astonishing.
This revelation showed just how advanced some ancient civilizations were, and that concepts we once thought of as modern were actually much older.
The history of technological development doesn't go in a straight line. It develops in fits and starts and sometimes gets lost and forgotten.
Number 7. Ancient Viking Code. Old linguistic codes aren't exactly a new phenomenon.
Great, he's using an ancient code.
There are thousands of runes from Scandinavia alone, each with its own set of rules and keys. One that stumped runologists for years is Jotunveldur, which dates back to the Viking Age.
I am Amlet the Beowulf, son of King Aurvan the Warraven, and I am his vengeance!
It was previously thought to have been untranslatable. However, that all changed in 2014, when K. Jonas Nordby finally cracked the code by discovering that the rune signs were swapped for the last sound in their names.
Is this it? Excellent, Millhouse. How about this? Nice work, Bart.
His findings shaped the way code was translated and viewed, breathing new life into the investigation.
You cannot escape our fate.
No!
Number 6. The Herculaneum Papyri. Time hasn't been too kind to many historical objects, The eruption of Mount Vesuvius in 79 AD destroyed cities and priceless items, including the Herculaneum papyri, which were carbonized by volcanic ash. The nearly 2,000 scrolls consisted of various Greek texts and were practically impossible to open due to the damage.
Any attempt to open them turned them into pieces, a puzzle that has kept experts glued to their microscopes for centuries.
When discovered in 1752, the technology to open them without causing further damage was unavailable. During the 21st century, experts started to develop ways to unroll the scrolls digitally. But it wasn't until the implementation of AI in 2023 that real strides were made, and the first word, porphyrus, meaning purple, was finally translated, bringing us one step closer to revealing potentially never-before-seen philosophical works.
The new technology will now help to decipher hundreds of scrolls from Herculaneum and around the world, in the hope of finding other philosophical questions, and more importantly, answers about our past.
Number 5. The disappearance of the Nazca culture. While many ancient civilizations have had identifiable causes for their downfall, others haven't been quite so obvious. The Nazca people thrived for centuries in Peru before their eventual decline.
It was a society that knew how to live in harmony with its environment by making the most of its resources.
Things started to crumble around 500 CE, with their entire society falling apart by approximately 750 CE. Some researchers believe the main culprit was deforestation, specifically the removal of Prosopis pallida trees, also known as huarangos.
Look, everyone here needs the trees, and you're chopping them down. So, we've got a big problem.
The Nazca likely did this with the intention of creating more space for farming, not realizing that the trees were vital in protecting the ecosystem, preventing erosion caused by wind and rivers, and maintaining their irrigation systems. Consequently, the people suffered harsher environmental effects, leading to the collapse of their culture.
There are so many open questions still to be resolved.
Number 4. Happisburg footprints. While most evidence of ancient people comes from Africa, prehistoric humans have also wandered through other regions. One of these sites is Happisburg, England, where dozens of footprints were found in 2013, estimated to be around 900,000 years old at the time of their discovery.
The discovery in Happisburg in England could rewrite the history on how humans spread into northern Europe.
Analysis indicated that the footprints included both adults and children, suggesting that familial groups existed even back then.
This is one of the most important archaeological sites in Northern Europe.
The prints are believed to have belonged to Homo antecessor, an extinct species of human. Experts were able to identify everything from the number of individuals walking to their estimated heights.
This, for me, shows that this was a human roaming the planet. There's no question about it. No other animal could have left this print.
Number 3. The Lost City of Helike. When thinking of lost cities, usually fictional ones like Atlantis are the first that come to mind.
Wait, mother of Jefferson Davis.
It's beautiful.
However, some are very real and took hundreds or even thousands of years to find, such as the lost Greek city of Helike. Originally founded during the Bronze Age, it survived until 373 BCE when a tsunami submerged the city and its people. Archaeologists had been trying to locate Helike for centuries, with attempts dating back to the 1800s. However, it wasn't until 2001 that an investigative team succeeded.
We found halls. Some of them were configured in straight lines that extended half a kilometer or so.
They first came upon various artifacts from the city, which eventually led them straight to the site itself. Since then, yearly excavations have unearthed historical items once thought to have been lost forever.
I've seen many classical coins. This is superb. This one is the finest quality that exists, really. The artistry is of the highest order. It's a beautiful head of Apollo on one side, the flying dove on the other.
Number 2. The Pyramids of Giza. This mystery has brought about plenty of conspiracy theories, but we've come one step closer to shedding those completely.
So interesting is the question of how the pyramid was built that there are more theories about its construction than I can manage to keep track of.
Plenty of theories have been presented on how the Giza pyramids were built, even one suggesting that aliens were involved.
the only building technique that most everyone can agree on is the employment of ramps to drag the blocks upward.
The discovery of a 4,500-year-old ramp provided more concrete answers. The contraption had 2 sets of stairs and several holes, making it easier for early Egyptians to transport heavy items up steep slopes.
They would have brought the obelisk in butt end up a big, huge ramp, and then they would have come to a silo filled with sand. As they slowly let the sand out,
there are inscriptions dating back to the reign of Khufu, who's believed to have commissioned the Great Pyramid of Giza. While there's more research being done, many believe this ramp transportation method was crucial in crafting one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world. Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into Settings and switch on your notifications. Number 1. The Lost Army of Cambyses. Some mysteries go unsolved for so long that they become legends. In 524 BCE, an army sent by King Cambyses II supposedly disappeared after being caught in a sandstorm.
No trace of the soldiers has ever been found, until now.
The army consisted of 50,000 men, and yet for thousands of years, no definitive remains were found. The lack of evidence caused some Egyptologists to write it off. In 2009, 2 archaeologists claimed to have found remains. However, their credibility was questioned due to past controversies, leaving many unconvinced.
The hot and strong southeasterly wind started blowing, causing a sandstorm. The army dispersed in various directions, some under natural shelters.
In 2015, though, new research suggested that the supposed sandstorm didn't happen at all, and that the Lost Army was instead defeated by rebels. This reframed the mystery, introducing a conclusion that challenged the long-accepted sandstorm theory. What ancient mystery do you hope gets solved next? Let us know in the comments below.
It felt really, really amazing to actually be one of the first people to actually do this.
Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.